Budget talk, the stage 3 tax cuts, Robodet and The Voice. It's been another big couple of weeks in Australian politics. Let's catch you up with what's gone down. Labor's first budget since winning government is due to be handed down in less than 2 weeks. At first it was a bread and butter budget, then there were going to be difficult decisions, but it's back to being a bread and butter budget, and a key reason for that seems to be the question over will they or won't they with the stage 3 tax cuts has been put off for after October.
Does this budget flag any changes to stage 3 tax cuts?
No.
Jim Chalmers has other more immediate things to worry about, it seems. His trip to Washington to chat about the US economy has left him pretty pessimistic about those global economic headwinds we've all been hearing about.
The risk of recession in some of the major economies has clearly edged over from possible to probable, and that will have implications for us.
But something the government can control is what it spends money on in its own budget. And one thing it has its eye on is defence.
We have inherited a defence procurement mess, a complete mess.
It's on track to cost us around $80 billion a year by the end of the decade, and that's up from $50 billion.
Under the coalition government, we saw 28 different projects running accumulated total of 97 years over time.
Defence ministers under the last government lasted on average 18 months. Goldfish lasted longer than coalition defence ministers.
The Royal Commission into the unlawful Robodet program run by the former government is ongoing, but the Labor government has announced it is cancelling almost 200,000 Robodet cases.
This decision isn't surprising, but it will bring certainty to the thousands of Australians who've had incomplete Robodet cases hanging over them.
The opposition, though, which was responsible for the Robodet program's rollout, has not only claimed the Royal Commission into it is unnecessary, it's also accused the Labor government of slapping Australian taxpayers in the face by cancelling the remaining Robodet cases. This was the same government which declined to pursue companies which posted profits during the pandemic for the millions of dollars they received in JobKeeper payments, and was roundly criticised by the Auditor General for programs like Sports Rorts. Robodet is a scar on Australia's social security safety net, and it has had a devastating impact on people's lives. Most Australian taxpayers just want to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Do you have agreement from Lidia Thorpe that you will continue to work together on a no case?
This is not something I want to talk about at the moment.
Green Senator Lidia Thorpe says she won't be campaigning against an Indigenous voice to Parliament and has lodged a Press Council complaint against a report which suggested she had met with Warren Mundine over their joint opposition to the voice proposal. Thorpe has previously criticised the voice proposal as a waste of money, but in a public statement this week, she said she wanted the 3 elements of the Uluru Statement, truth, treaty and the voice, to be raised equally. She hasn't said she's campaigning for yes, but she's not campaigning for no. Australia's leaders also marked the 20th anniversary of the Bali bombings at a special service in Sydney.
We hold on to their names and faces, and we will never let them fade.
202 people, including 88 Australians, were killed in Indonesia after bombs tore through the popular night spots of the Sari Club and Paddy's Pub and in front of the US consulate 20 years ago. Across the country, Australians remembered those who died and the trauma that remains for those who survived.
To those here today and in the broader Australian community who lost so much, you haven't slipped from our thoughts.
And the week ended with a new culture war brewing in Australian politics over cow farts. The government has all but signalled it will be signing Joe Biden's methane reduction pledge, which the opposition immediately labelled an attack on the Australian barbecue.
The only way is to reduce the size or tax it, which is what New Zealand's done. And that's quite frightening. That's quite frightening for Australian agriculture, but it should be quite frightening for everybody out there when they go to the supermarket.
There are no plans to follow New Zealand and install what's been called a burp tax, with technology and special foods being considered for the Australian solution. You could call it technology over toots. But it wouldn't be Australian politics without a dash of bullshit. Take care of you.